This is my Miles Morales inspired PR-5000 by Rep Fitness.
In this video, I'm going to go through what I like and dislike about the PR-5000 and the attached, lat pull down, low row, and no order. I'm going to bounce back and forth between the likes and dislikes as I think of them. I will start off with a dislike that I don't really like about the PR-5000, and that is the laser edging numbering. Now I understand that when they made this rack, the Athena was not a thing. But being that I plan on upgrading this to the Athena, I would like to see the numbering at least go to where the pull-up bar starts. So that way I know exactly what number I'm at while I'm adjusting. So I would say the numbering starts ends about 3/4 of the way up, and it starts at about 1/4 of the way from the bottom. So you can see that there's a lot here that doesn't have it. I'd say about 3 holes. So that's a minor thing, not a deal breaker. But again, with the new attachment of the Athena, where you can use it as a functional trainer, I would like to see those numbers at least extend to where the Athena could go. Outside of that, I will say that I am pleasantly surprised about the sturdiness of this and the quality of it. Like, it actually feels really good. I was kind of on the fence about the quality of Rep because I've never been in one of the power racks, never used any of their equipment, but I can say that it feels sturdy. So you get your money's worth, and the value of it, I don't think you can beat. I really do not think you can beat the value of this rack. Now, that's not to say that it didn't come with issues. Also, at the end of the video, along with the packaging, I'm going to show y'all where the paint got scratched in the shipping. So there's certain things I think Rep could do to improve. So the cross members, which are in red, I really feel like that the paint rubbed off because they lay on top of each other. It's got a great styrofoam on top underneath, but they rest on top of each other, and I think they slid around in the box and they just rubbed the paint off. Now I'm the type of person where if something's gonna get scratched up and it's brand new, I wanna be the one to do it and they not come scratched up. But again, that's just minor little aesthetics. It doesn't ruin anything. It's just, I would like to be the one to mess it up. One thing that I would say if I had to do this over, instead of getting the 16-inch cross member, because I was trying to take as little space as possible, being that this is a garage gym, I should have went with a 30-inch. Because when I do lat pull downs, there's not enough room in between for me to actually do it and have a longer bar, or I would run into this upright. So I recommend that if you do this setup for a functional trainer only, go with a 30-inch. It's only like $20 more. So just go with almost double the length. You will not regret it. This being so small, it takes up less of a footprint. But again, if you really want to do wide pull downs on your back, you really can't because you're just too constrained, especially being that I didn't know where this went up top. So it kind of goes in the middle of the rack where you're pulling down, and I like to lean back a little when I do it, and like I said, I'd run it right into this post. So, as far as the PR-5000 goes, again, this was made for a functional trainer, but feeling how tight and how good it lines up, I would say that this would be no issue as a standalone power rack. I approve of it, I like it. The paint looks good, but it's very thin. So what I mean by that is, I have another power rack that I don't want to talk about because this video is not about that. I'll say that for another video. But this paint just does not feel like it was put on as thick. It feels like a really thin coat. So I would like, if possible, even if it costs a little bit more, because it's so much cheaper than the other power racks, to see just a thicker paint job. And that might actually take care of where it rubs in the shipping to not get scratched up. Other than that, going to the attachment, the lat pull down low row, and I'll show some exercises at the end of the video as well. I like this. It feels great. Again, with what Rep's doing, they're just innovating. They're by far the best innovators of the home gym with everything they're coming up with. Rep, if you out there, I got an idea for something. If you see this video, contact me because we need to talk about something that I could create for y'all to make this way better. But anyways, I digress. Now, I love how smooth this feels. It feels commercial grade all the way. I was thinking that it really wouldn't be commercial grade quality in the feel of the smoothness of the pulleys, but it feels great. It feels absolutely great. Now there is an issue when it comes to the pulley, and I'll show y'all real fast. So when I first got this and put it together, if you look at my pulley wheel up here, you're gonna see a bunch of little ding marks. As I tried, first off, to do it, you're gonna see all types of dings from where the top of the stem of the weights hit it. Now, there's a reason for that. The reason why I was hitting it was because I guess this cable wasn't long enough, but I don't think that's the issue. See, I got the upgraded weight stack, so instead of it being at 200 or 210, I believe is where the original goes, I went all the way to 300. Now, if it's a 210, look at that. That's about, I don't know, 5-6 inches maybe. So you gotta think there's this base plate that the weights sit on top of. I don't believe it was made with the intention of having these added things. So what it ended up doing was you're losing at the top 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches that you normally would have for extra length. So what I did originally was this cable that you see is all sloppy and loose. I made it tight. The way you make it tight is you take this additional chain that comes with it, you take that off. And then you pull it back. Sorry guys, these carabiners are like very difficult. And then that makes it tight. So that's what in my mind I thought it was supposed to sit like tight versus loose. But the issue is, and I will demonstrate that right now, is when I do it, it's going to hit. All right, now that I got this off and the slops out, I can show y'all the issue I was running into initially. So when I grab this to do tricep pull downs, as the weight's going up, you can see it's getting closer and closer and closer to whenever I came down for extension, it hit. It doesn't even matter if I get right underneath it, you can see it's hitting the pulley wheel. Now, the reason why I believe it's hitting the pulley wheel is because, as I was saying earlier, this base plate underneath the weights is too high. They need to make a second version that sits lower inside of here versus the normal standard one that comes with the 200, 210 pounds. If this was lower by 5 to 6 inches, it would not hit. The way that I got around it was, at the start of the video, as y'all saw, it doesn't look pretty when nothing's being done, but I take this, I hook it here, we come down below, we hook it down below, and boom, there it is. Now, as you see, it looks tight, but if I was to hang it up at the top or take this off, now it gets all sloppy, and sometimes when you put it up and you pull it, the carabiner can turn sideways and it gets stuck versus coming up like it needs to be. So that is the issue that I believe, Rep, y'all can work on to fix is that base plate that holds the weights. Y'all need to have two versions, one for the initial weight and a second one that's shorter for the additional plates if somebody chooses to get it. The last thing I'm gonna cover before I show some exercises on this is the attachments that come with it. Now, Rep, I really do appreciate y'all including these bars because y'all didn't have to do it. However, I don't really like them. The quality of these do not feel good. The thickness of them do not feel good. I'll never use them. So I wish, Rep, that you gave an option to where, like, I didn't even know these were included, but had I known there would be an upgrade that y'all could include, I would have upgraded to your Pro Series if it cost an extra $50, $100, or whatever. I would have done that just to get better quality bars. But again, if you're on a budget, they're doable, they work. They just don't feel great to me. So Rep, I believe that the thought was there, but the quality isn't. And hopefully in the future, y'all can add an upgrade feature for people who want to have better chrome bars, because the weight of this versus this is like night and day. This is probably triple the weight. This weighs nothing. And then The lat pull down bar is even lighter than that small one, which makes no sense. It bounces. There's nothing to it. So again, if y'all would include the chrome bars or given the upgrade choice, I think people would probably opt to go for that. So I don't really want to complain too much on something that was included for free, but I would just like a better quality bar if given the choice. Now let's get into some exercises. This is the low row. We're only going to do 3 just to show. Lat pull down, leg roller review coming soon. Tricep pull downs. Tricep rope pull downs. And then you can reverse it and go over your head. I like to put my foot on the low row base. Bicep curls. And abs. Now there's a lot of other exercises you can do that I didn't show, but these are just a few to show you how versatile this is. And now we're coming to the conclusion of this video. If I had to rank this in between a 1 to a 10, I would give it a solid 8. I take off points because it did come scuffed. And the second reason why I take off points is because of these leg rollers. Right now, it's the only option to hold you down when you do lat pull downs. And in my opinion, they need to come up with a better option because as the weight gets heavier, it's very hard to get in and out with these leg rollers. Other than that, I think it's very good, worth every dollar that I spent. And I would recommend it to anyone out there. Stay tuned for the photos at the end. And tell me in the comment section below how I can make these reviews better than they are now.